My name is Janika. I'm leading the people operations team in Playtech. And today we're actually going to tell you a story of a successful internship. We'll start really from the beginning, from the application, and then ending it with actually getting a full-time job. And it's the story of Nino Kulashvili, our technical project manager in Playtech in live team. So Nino, you can say hi. Maybe the Zoom will show you also.
Hi, nice to be part of this session.
And then we will also share insights from the manager's point of view. So that's why we have Werner here, who is leading the project managers in live. So Werner, you can also say hi, and hopefully everyone will see you.
Hey guys, good afternoon.
And in addition to that, we will also share some tips and tricks from the HR side. In the end, we will finalize the presentation with introducing a bit more about Playtech and share the details of our this year's summer internship program as well. So stick with us until the end. And maybe from the practical side, then you will have a chance to ask questions in the end of the presentation, but feel free to add them in the chat already now, and then we will just take them in the end. So ready to go. Nino, you applied for this internship actually in 2019 and you successfully got it. So before we actually go into that story, tell us a bit about your background also.
Hello again. I'm originally from Georgia. I used to do my bachelor in informatics in University of Georgia, and during my bachelor times, I didn't really enjoy the coding a lot, so I was more enjoying managing stuff. So I became a part of a non-governmental organization, JCI, and I was lucky enough to become external relationship manager from the very beginning. And then after a year, I had pleasure to be president of JCI Georgia. And these 2 years gave me quite a good experience because I needed to manage a lot of social projects from the very beginning, like planning, budgeting, everything. And I didn't have like much knowledge, but like when you have hands in the work itself, it gave me like really, really valuable experience. After that, I applied for a startup company, Y Fisher. We started with a small team, but nowadays in Georgia, this company is quite large already. It is online advertising company, and as it was startup, it also gave me quite a good experience by managing and planning and go through the different type of like obstacles in the market. And then I moved to the head company of Y Fisher. It's digital agency Potters. And I was a project manager there. And back then I had the opportunity to have like communication with quite big companies in Georgia. So then I had experience to talk to people and like explain our product and to persuade them to buy our product. So being a project manager in Potters gave me opportunity to like learn how to speak to your customers. And then I was always thinking since my bachelor to like move abroad and do my master's. And Tartu University gave me this opportunity. So I was enrolled in Innovation and Technology Management Master's course in 2019. And during this process, I was searching for some job opportunities, and the Playtech technical project manager in live team from Playtech was one that like caught my attention, and I didn't think even to like apply for it because from my friends I knew that Playtech was like amazing company. And yeah, I applied and I got the job. We will discuss it shortly afterwards, how it all happened.
Yes.
So that's about my background.
I think at this moment it would be really good to give everyone a background about how the application process in our company actually looks like, so you're kind of prepared for it. So the outline is this, that you first apply. Usually it's the CV, and it might be that you also need to attach your motivation letter. Then we will choose those who will be given an assignment. We will also talk more about this one later. And then those who are successful will be invited to the interview round. And it can be that there are quite a few interviews. So it could be with the mentor, with managers, with the HR team. So this is something that we will also talk about later. And then if you're the one, you will get the offer. Nina, when you think back to that moment, what was actually happening in your head, and why did you decide to apply to Playtech, to this position?
I told you that I had experience, like my bachelor was in informatics, but I wasn't really enjoying coding and stuff. But I was still, because it was challenging, I still continued to study it. But then, like by the end of my bachelor, I chose more like more of a management based courses. So I, in my mind, I always said that I wanted to be like something merge of technical stuff and management stuff. So the our title is saying this like quite openly, that like technical project manager. So when I saw this advertisement, I think I saw it on some website, if I'm not mistaken. So when I saw it, I was just like, I really want to get this job because like everyone who is doing their master's or bachelor, they know that it's mandatory to have intern in some company. So it is like boom in Estonia that like everyone is searching for a job. So like my friends were applying in 10, 12, 20 companies in order to get something, because it's like a really crucial part, because you get credits for this as a subject. So I was just thinking, I had applied for several companies, but I wasn't feeling comfortable working in there. But the job description, the company, like everything that I've heard about Playtech just gave me a push to like give all my resources into have like good CV, good motivation letter, and to show the company that I was worth to get this job. So yeah, I was quite dedicated to get this job, as it was like in my mind since my bachelor years.
And you mentioned also a good CV. So this is now the first moment of practical tips today. So for many of you, this might be the first time that you ever actually create your CV, and you feel that there's nothing actually to add there. But don't worry, because all the other ones are in the same situations who you're competing with. And maybe just a few ideas how to think about this great creation of CV. The first thing that I would highlight is bring out all relevant school activities, whether it's some kind of task where you created a web page, or maybe you in high school did a school company or student company, or maybe there's like anything else that's somehow even related with this position. And always explain what was the project about and what was your role there and what did you learn? Because just naming it and saying we did as a student company is also not enough. Then bring out your volunteering experience, because Nina also mentioned that she's part of JCI or was at that moment. So this is something that also shows about your personality and interests. And then think about your international projects, or maybe you had a year abroad. This is also something that shows your proactiveness. So it's a good aspect to show. Then the question always is if to add your hobbies into the CV. And my recommendation here would be to think if they are somehow connected with this position where you're applying. Maybe you built robots for robotics, or maybe you were the Estonian champion in, let's say, skiing in high school. This also shows something about your personality. So these are things to think about. And maybe even the key thing or the most important thing is if you have any kind of examples of your work that you've done, then this is something to attach with the CV or share with us. And if you do have experience, then just don't mention the name of the company and the role, but bring out what did you do and what did you learn there. So if it was selling the newspapers on the streets, what did you learn? Was it teamwork? Was it sales skills? Maybe you worked somewhere else and you did already something technical. This is also something to mention. And keep the CV simple. There are so many very fancy designs you can Google and find from the internet, but put yourself also in the reader's shoes, because they need to find the relevant things quickly because they're looking through quite a lot of CVs. So this is something to think about.
Excuse me. Yep. Can I ask a question? Do you know these PowerPoint slides that you're showing? Will you be able to share these with us, or should I screenshot things that I like?
I would hope that there is someone smarter in the Zoom here who will say if we will share them. It's fine by me that we share them, so we will find a way, I think.
Okay, but you could email us perhaps, or we could write in the chat, or I'm not sure. Okay, thank you.
Just at least write your email in the chat, and I promise I will send them to you myself, and we'll find also probably a way to share them with other ones.
Excellent, thank you.
So where was I? Keeping the CV simple. And also, in addition to the CV, if you see that you're asked to send a motivation letter or maybe just answering a question, why do you want to apply for the role, then use this chance, because it will be highly evaluated by the managers, and they will ask, or they want to know why you're actually applying for this specific position, even if it's an internship position. And maybe just as an to give you an view from our side, and if you don't have experience, then what we are actually looking for is proactiveness and willingness to learn. Very simple things. So whatever you have that you can connect with those two like personality aspects or attributes, then this is it actually. Maybe I'll now go to Werner. What do you actually look from the CVs?
Well, basically the same things that you brought out. I'm representing the live projects team. So we are obviously related to project management, but also we are a customer-facing team. So what I personally look for is previous experience with any kind of project. Sorry, guys. So any kind of previous experience with projects, either participating or managing a school project. And also experience working with customers, because it's quite different if you work with internal teams or internal school project with your course mates, or if you're working with somebody externally as well. It's a bit different mindset. So I also look for experience working with customers. It can be anything. It can be sales, marketing, retail sales, whatnot, but it's also important. Also the international factor, because we are an international company. We have clients all over the world. We have other teams all over the world. So any kind of international experience is beneficial. Language knowledge beneficial as well. And also, yes, motivation. Even if you don't have any previous work experience, we would like to understand what is your motivation behind choosing such career path in, let's say, IT or IT project management, and also more specifically, why this company from all others, either in Estonia or even in global scale. So I think these are the key things, and you nicely brought them out as well, so we are mostly aligned.
Good. Now let's move back to Nino's story. After the CV round, you were presented with an homework by Werner. So I will actually ask from Werner before that. What do you look from the homework?
So from the homework, we're trying to find some proof, so to say, for what is, let's say, proposed in the CV. So we're looking at three main items. First is the main understanding of time and resources. That 9 women cannot give a baby in 1 month. Logic behind it, because it's very impactful in our work to understand the flow of time and how you can expedite things and how you can't. So we have a small task about creating a chart and understanding critical timeline and taking into regard available resources and deadlines. Then we also ask candidate to explain one of their previous project experience, either in school or elsewhere, and also highlight problems and risks that they were facing, and if they were able to overcome them, and what did they learn from it. So not just that I did participate in this project, but as Julian said as well, what did you gain for it? Even if the project was a fail, what did you learn from it? And failing is not the bad thing, especially in the early days, as you learn from it more than from success. And then we also ask about scenario with a customer, in this case, a crisis scenario. And we say that, imagine it, even if you don't have experience, imagine you have a problem with a customer. How do you overcome it? What is your approach to the problem? We ask also the candidate to explain their motivation again, if it wasn't highlighted in the CV. And very few questions, very general questions about the IT side of the job as well, just to understand the main principle of, let's say, software or client-server logic. So it will be for you easier to understand what we do here, just the concept on a high level. And these are the things that we are looking at.
Nina, from your side, how was the experience of doing that homework?
Actually, the full homework was really, really interesting. I really enjoyed doing it. I've always said to Werner that it was quite enjoyable, because as he mentioned, it required not only some technical stuff, but it also gave me opportunity to show them how I worked with previous projects, what kind of risks did I have, what kind of challenges did I have during my previous projects, and how I managed to overcome it. So this homework gave me opportunity to fully express myself, because there was resource alignment for some project. It was some timetable and budget stuff also need to be take into consideration while was doing homework. And together with it, I had full freedom to express what I have done, and to show myself and prove myself that I had this experience really, and I did this and that step in order to tackle the problems. I really, really enjoyed it. I was doing it for 2-3 days, because it needed to like not only just sit and do it quickly, but it needed like to open my mind and just to think about some stuff that that needs like a lot of processing in the mind. So it was quite good and challenging process for me.
So you were successful with the homework, and you got into the next round, the interview round. How would you describe that part?
The interview, actually, it was my first interview in Estonia in such a big and international company. So I was living in Tartu and came like in the morning by bus in Tallinn, and I was like super stressed because it was like huge company. Like my friends were were ones who were saying that Playtech is quite huge company and we are not even applying there because we don't have any chance. But I didn't miss the chance. So like everything was in my mind that it would be quite hard. But I was like 100% wrong, because Werner and Helen, who was HR, who I had interview with, just made the environment so friendly and so welcoming and so chill that I was just smiling all the time, because they were the same. So environment was like awesome. I wasn't nervous from the first minute as they started talking to me. Questions was not like that hard or like super detailed. Again, I remember that Werner was still focusing on like my experience, so I had the chance again to express my experience, and it wasn't something like complicated. I must say it was quite friendly environment and just welcoming for my experience to be shared. So I cannot say anything other than positive about this interview I had.
It's good to hear, and now we move back to this tips corner, and maybe this is even one of the most important things to highlight here, that we always try to make the atmosphere friendly, and in the end this is not a test. We want you to be successful in this process and not to fail, and there's nothing to be afraid, even if it's really your first job interview ever. But maybe there are still some things you can do to prepare, and first of them is know where you're applying. And I don't mean that you need to know the company, I don't know, some numbers or very detailed business areas, but just make sure that you know what is the general idea of the company, and especially what is the role and the function where you're applying. Is it development? Is it project management? Or it's QA or testing? What does it actually mean? And in the end, this is not for us so much. It's for you, because you will be more confident, and it will be easier for you to be in this interview. Then have your pitch ready. And I say it because be prepared to share why do you want to apply for this job or position, and why you are also the right person for it, because this is something we will ask from you anyways. So better have it ready. And our team's really good example here was that we once had a hairdresser who actually applied for a QA job, and she didn't have any kind of previous IT experience, but she explained that she actually tests all the time during her current job. So she tests with different hair colors, and she explained why testing is needed in her current job. So in the end, it showed something about her and her preparation, and she got the job. I see a hand actually. So is there something you want to ask?
Yeah, I would like to. I have a question about is it possible to get the homework round if a person have almost nothing to show in a CV, let's say, but still wants to learn and is really motivated to become a software engineer? So like, is there any opportunity?
I would put it this way, that I'm quite sure that you have something to add to the CV. So think about it a bit more from that angle. Maybe there is some kind of experience or something that's related to some projects that you've done in your family or with your friends, or it doesn't have to be like professional experience.
Or
something that shows your personality and all this, and also motivation.
If it's
then
a case
it's all about motivation.
If it's a case of software development, you can easily take some of the free courses online. And not only to add that I took this course, but maybe share your experience. What did you learn? How did you apply it? Maybe you did a small project on your own after taking this course. You can always create this experience in such a way as well. You don't have to be, working somewhere to gain experience. So definitely look for opportunities to showcase your interest and practical applications of that interest as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, thanks.
Coming back to the interview, then be also prepared to talk about your homework, because most probably you will be asked about that. Why did you choose this approach, or what would you do now differently when you think back to it, or anything like that? And write down your questions before, because otherwise you might forget them. And it's not only about us getting to know you, it's as much also about you getting to know the role, the company, because this is your moment to actually like ask and understand where are you applying. And there's no such thing as a stupid question. So always ask. But now let's go back to Nino's story again, and I will ask from Werner. How do you choose between candidates in the final round?
So after the interview or during the interview, we evaluate the person's way of communicating, as the project management is mainly a job of communicating with people, both internal and external, and getting them to do what is needed on the right time. So we feel out the person, how he or she in person, how would be the team fit. It's very important for us as well that the person will fit right into the team, because we work quite a bit together, we support each other, so it's important that there is a nice team fit even for an intern. So he or she would feel welcomed right away and just fit right in. As Janika said, we will ask about the homework, and not to double check if you were the person who wrote it or something, but what I look at is the way you explain your experience in verbal as well, not just in written. Maybe you have had more time to think about it, so we'll also check about these matters. But yeah, it's a combination of all of it. And if unsure, we sometimes ask for a second opinion. But it's a combination of homework and more importantly, the interview. And because if you already get to the interview, it's you should have sufficient experience. Then it's about who you are, where they want to be, and how they want to get there. So
exactly. So Nino, you got the offer. How did the onboarding look like? And I will also ask, how did you imagine the technical project manager role to be, and how it was in reality in the end?
So first day in Playtech was, we were about 7 interns, if I remember correctly, in different teams. And I knew Werner from my first interview, and HR team planned a small like welcoming party with all team leads and with all interns. So we had like pizza lunch today together, and I was introduced like what was the office look like and stuff. And that day I had the opportunity to sit next to Werner and like discuss like just chat about the onboarding and stuff. And then after lunch I was introduced to the team, and like right away I started to see what was the product itself, and like how our team was working in general. And actually I was expecting that the job would be challenging and interesting, and even it's my 1.5 year in Playtech, I still study something new every day. So it's been challenging and interesting from the day one till now. So my expectations were like fulfilled, and it's even like more than what I expected. So the team was really awesome, and I'm really happy that I'm part of it for this time period since my internship and to the technical project manager. So it was quite a nice and welcoming experience for me.
Good to hear. And we will also talk a bit more about life at Playtech. But before that, Werner has promised to do us a small demo of the live product. So we are not talking so much about the theory anymore, but you actually see that what Nina and Werner are working on. So I will stop sharing the screen for a second, and then we change it.
All right. So first of all, keep in mind that Playtech is a large company and it does a lot of products. And Live is just one of them. But as we are part of the Playtech Live unit, I'm going to showcase only the Live product. In my opinion, Live is the most exciting product technically that Playtech does, because we have a lot of moving factors and also human factors compared to just software-based solutions. So basically what the Live product is a combination of a real human being operating the game itself on the physical level. So be it the table, the cards, but also the scanners that understand what is around. Then the software component on the server side, all the game logic, transactions, user information between wallet and the client. The client side, so we need to display the game experience to players, and it needs to be in sync. And finally, the video as well. So we're streaming high quality video from all our studios, which there are multiple all around the world. And this all seamlessly needs to come together in our gaming client, which I will show you shortly. And here is just a video of one of our studios. This one is in Riga, and you will see dealers operating different game tables. So let me show you the client in action from a player perspective, so you will get a better understanding what does it mean. So this is one of our recent games. It's called Adventurously and Wonderland. It's like Alice themed game. By principle, it is Wheel of Fortune, but it's of course made more advanced, more interesting. It's a combination of artificial reality and reality. So the wheel, of course, is real, and the dealer is real as well. But this creature here obviously is not real, but they have a part to play in this game, and they will interact with the game as well. The studio behind it is real, it's not a green screen, and it's moving. So if some specific items happen in the game, the whole studio will flip around and there is another wheel behind it. So all in all, if you start thinking of the technical aspects of this product, it's quite interesting. So it's like a Hollywood style studio with real screens, physical movement of the real studio, so it needs to turn 360 degrees. You need to have the artificial reality on top of the video. Then you have the gaming logic, so the system needs to know which number is at the end of each game round. It needs to take input from the players, betting on these positions. And of course, the video streaming also needs to match. So whenever the number is drawn, it needs to be shown exactly the same way on the screen as well. So all of this needs to come together. So it's an example of what we do at Playtech Live. Let's see if we manage to get some interesting movement as well. Not at this point, so I'll drop to another example. This is another one of our games. This is, let's say, traditional roulette game, but taken to another level with multipliers. Again, it's not a green screen, it's a real video wall solution also in our Riga studio. This is a slingshot wheel that operates itself automatically. So in this game, the dealer's role is to explain the game to players and communicate with players. So this is the live aspects of the product. It's just not the game. You are actually communicating with the dealer. You can chat with the dealer and they will talk back to you. They will explain to you how to play this game. So it's more immersive experience. Of course, we have traditional games as well, like blackjack and poker, where you can play either with other players or against the dealer. But also we have, for example, a bingo game where you are basically playing against the banker in the deal or no deal fashion. So you're buying a ticket. And each ticket will guarantee you a briefcase, and then bingo balls will start be drawn, and based on that you'll get closer to your briefcase, and banker will start making offers to you. There was a TV show in Estonia as well and elsewhere in the world, so maybe this concept is familiar. But just showing different examples what we can do with the physical studio, with the live dealer, with very advanced software solutions, both server and client side, and video streaming. And to my opinion, it's technically a super exciting product, even if you're not a fan of such games. It's a very challenging product to work with. So this was a quick overview of what we do at Playtech Live.
I will start sharing my screen also now, but Nina, in the meantime, you can already start sharing. How would you actually describe life at Playtech?
As I mentioned before, first day was super sweet because all of my team, like Werner first, and then all of my team was welcoming. And then Playtech is a company that offers us a lot of team events. Yeah, you can see on the pictures. We had some competitions in cooking. We became quite close friends. So like on the left picture, you can see that we just went out of town to do some activities, grill, and like have fun together. We had amazing event with 8 ATVs. This it's like full of our team. We have that I really miss from the office, this table football. And yeah, it's quite amazing to be part of such company that gives you opportunity not only to be stuck at work, but to also have fun and communicate with your like team members, not only about work, but also like about some other stuff like your interests, hobbies, and stuff. So we had amazing event in summer days, like full Playtech Estonia was out in Pärnu, and it was super amazing experience. I was wondering like how cool the company can be that they can manage to plan this kind of event for it's 1,500 employees in Estonia, if I'm not mistaken. So really a lot of people were there, and it was super well organized. So every single event that we have is organized perfectly, and just makes us to feel joyful and not only focus on the workload that is quite complex and sometimes tiring, but also to have fun and know our team members as out of work.
I know that you were actually offered a full-time job already in 1 month from the start of the internship, if I'm not mistaken. Question, Verre, for you. What's it actually depend on if the intern will be offered this full-time position?
So in our team specifically, whenever I'm taking an intern, I'm not, let's say, designing custom tasks for the intern or some way creating a separate environment. What we're doing is that we give intern real life tasks, same as other team members, of course in reduced scope and reduced timeline, because our goal is that the intern would be able to achieve these projects that are assigned, so they can feel the feeling of completing things as well. And when we see a real potential when it comes to talking to customers, internal teams, understanding the concepts of what we do, concepts of project management, and if there is a need for people and there is a position, then it might happen.
Thank you. Thank you for the story, and thank you for the comments from Werner. So now you learned about live product, but what we haven't talked about too much is Playtech as a company. But before I actually will tell you more, then I will show you a video for 4 minutes. So let's watch this one.
In 1999, Playtech was founded in Tartu, Estonia by 2 Estonian students and an Israeli investor. This was the start of the unicorn. With the arrival of the new millennium, Playtech started to develop rapidly. In 2001, the first server was set up on the island of Antigua, and the first casino licensee was welcomed. In 2003, Live Casino Studio was launched in the Philippines, so players could experience the thrill of real-time casino gameplay. Also, Playtech's Bingo network hit the market and became an instant success. 2004, when Mark Zuckerberg created the social network Facebook, Playtech launched the soon-to-be world's largest online poker network called iPoker. Also, with the launch of VideoBet in Estonia, Playtech entered the land-based gaming terminals market and opened an office in Tallinn on Paldiski Road. Mobile gaming was launched the following year, enabling players to play on the go. 2006 was a monumentous year for Playtech, as Playtech's shares were successfully issued on the London Stock Exchange and the company officially became public. History was made in 2007 when Steve Jobs introduced the first iPhone to the world. That year was also the beginning of a new era in Playtech, as Mor Weiser was appointed CEO. In the following years, Playtech entered new markets in Italy and Spain, adding new licensees and products to its portfolio, including live TV shows, sports betting, and the growth of bingo. By 2010, Playtech's headcount reached 1,000 employees. In 2011, First Game Studio was added and Playtech joined forces with a mobile platform developer. In Estonia, Playtech's development centre moved to its very own building on Vanamoina Street that houses Tartu office to this day. In 2012, when Queen Elizabeth II celebrated 60 years on the throne, Playtech was listed on the main market of the London Stock Exchange. Next year, Playtech diversified its profile by acquiring the world's largest independent poker school and community, PokerStrategy.com. In 2014, Playtech showcases its first ever multi-channel product, and in the following year launched a complete, worldwide, omni-channel solution, Playtech One, giving players the freedom of any game across all channels, locations and devices through a single account. In 2016, when the rest of the world was mesmerised with finding new Pokemon Go characters, Playtech's Estonia site celebrated the opening of its brand new office at Ülemiste City. 2017 was the year when Batman joined forces with Wonder Woman to save the world, and Playtech made its largest ever content deal with Warner Brothers to develop iconic branded games such as Man of Steel, Dark Knight and Justice League. 2018 saw Playtech's biggest acquisition of all time, adding Snytech to Playtech family and combining its technology and talent with the powerful local gaming brand in Italy. Today, Playtech is continuously the world's leading supplier of online gaming software, thanks to a unique combination of innovative approach and cutting-edge technology. Per day, the company serves 500 million online played games and 1 billion transactions, with 6,000 talent in 19 global locations, over 150 licensees, more than 30 regulations and 300 gaming brands powered. Playtech continues to set the safer gaming standards for the entire gaming industry.
So maybe what I would like to emphasize here is that we really are the world's leading online gaming software platform and services provider. So we offer the full package to our clients. And in other words, we design and build games for hundreds of millions of players worldwide. And in the video, most of our biggest products were mentioned. But maybe just to bring out what are those that are developed in Estonia and which units we have in Estonia, then the biggest here are, in addition to Live that you already know a bit more about, is the player management system IMS. Then the infrastructure is actually developed or managed in Estonia. Then we have the casino unit that's, like the name says, actually dedicated to casino games. We also have VideoBet, which is about land-based casinos. And then we have the support unit, service operations in Estonia. So not all the roles are connected to gaming. This is maybe something to remember also from here. And our key to success, or one of them for sure, is this Playtech One that was mentioned also in the video, which means that the player actually can start a game on one device and then continue it on another one. So we really are capable to deliver playing any game on any platform and on any device, with just having like one wallet and account system. And as far as I know, then no one else in this area of business actually has something similar. And maybe another keyword to highlight also once more is responsible gaming, which means that we are actually dedicated to developing and delivering responsible gaming technology and raising the standard across the whole industry. And we do focus only on the regulated markets. Now, so numbers, we actually saw quite many of those already. But and I won't go into details here, but I think they speak from themselves. We really have a unique infrastructure platform, and our IMS, or the information management system, actually serves 1 million players a day, which are huge numbers. It was also mentioned that we operate in, our offices are in 19 different geographical locations. The biggest of the offices, I would say, are Riga, Ukraine, Bulgaria, UK, Gibraltar, and of course Estonia. In Estonia, our two offices in Tartu and Tallinn. In Tartu, we have 460 employees at this moment, and in Tallinn, we have 170 employees. And just to show you the offices also, then in Tartu, we are in the city center. And as you see from the pictures, then we know we work hard, but we also know how to have fun. and we have lots of different events all the time in the office as well. And in Tallinn, we are in the Ülemiste city with a very modern office, I would say. But now maybe about this, the reason why you actually are all here and joined with us. This year, to be honest, we have the biggest summer internship program we've had ever. We have more than 40 positions, and these names that you see here are just a selection of the positions that we have. So go to our webpage and you will find the full list. There are different possibilities in the gaming sector, but also in other units. So there is for sure something for you. And I can say already as a hint that usually the biggest competition is for the development positions. So consider the other ones also, and just Google and do some background research, and maybe there is something that's even more interesting for you. And to talk about dates and deadlines, then we will have on the 16th of March our in-house event where we actually introduce the units a bit more. We will also talk more about the positions. So if you're interested, then this is the event to join. And also remember the application deadline, which is the 21st of March. And our internship is 9 weeks long, and it's a paid internship. So I think that's about it. Follow us and find us in Instagram, in Facebook. Then you can be sure that you have all the information that you need, and you have the deadlines always reminded as well. So I think it's time for questions. Do we have some questions?
Hello, I have some questions about the homework you talked about. Could you tell us more about it, please?
The homework depends very much on the position where you're applying. So in reality, I think there is no answer I can give to you at this moment. It very much depends on the area or the function where you're applying. It either tests your more technical skills if you're applying for a Java developer position, for example, and if you're applying for something that's like a project manager position, then it's more like what Werner already described to you. I don't know if I answered you.
Yes, thank you so much. I got pretty much the idea.
So it really very much depends on the position. Yeah. What else do you want to know? This is your chance. Actually, we will just open up from our and the company sides how the program looks like. So whatever is on your mind.
Hi, I also have a question about the homework. Can you give us a timeline when the homework will be assigned, and what's the deadline for presenting it?
That's a very good question. To be honest, I have to say that I don't know the answer by heart, but I'm thinking that the answer is on our webpage.
Yes, it is actually.
Okay, I will look it up. Thank you.
But whoever said that yes, then do you know the timeline also?
I guess kind of. The test exercises are from 22nd of March to 4th of April. And interviews are starting from 19th of April.
Yes. So we will quite quickly go through the CVs, and you will already have the possibility to do the test assignments.
I also put link into the chat.
Thank you.
Welcome.
What else is on your mind? Or any comments or concerns or something that you want to share here? Or some advice that you want, how to be even more successful in this process?
I guess I can maybe ask something for clarification. So it's okay to apply for multiple positions. So I'm interested in both programming and design. Since I study HCI, I study both programming and UX design. So, but some people view them as like completely opposite things. So, and previously I've experienced when I'm applied to positions and I mentioned that I kind of do both. They kind of assume that, okay, they know a lot, but they're not really good at anything.
You for sure can apply for the two positions. I think when I look from a more general picture or view on this question, then it's okay to apply to, let's say, like, two positions, but on the other hand, choose carefully and be confident and have your motivation for the both of them. Because if you just send your CV, you create one CV and you just send it to, I don't know, 50 different IT companies, then probably you won't be successful. But if you choose like two very specific areas and you know that you're really interested in both of them, then probably we will see also your motivation and you have more like hope to be successful in this process. So this is maybe what's my hint, to really think it through carefully how many positions you're applying from. I think the areas and also the companies, and because you always have to be able to explain why you're applying for this position at this company.
All right, thank you.
What else?
I have a few questions about the internships that are not located in Tallinn or in Tartu. So are we supposed to be in Tartu, or we can work from Tallinn?
If the ad says that the position is in Tartu, then it's in Tartu, and if it's in Tallinn, it's in Tallinn. So hoping that the situation around us will not change so much, then those, or not change, but get better, I would say, then the positions are in office, and you will be able to work there together with your mentor. And this is how we did it last year also, that all the interns started still in the office, worked together with the mentors. And then at some moment, I think when the situation around us with this COVID went worse, then they actually moved to home offices also. But we would like to have you all in the offices. So that's the reason why it's important. But you can always just email us and ask. Maybe there is some flexibility in some positions. So it's worth to ask also if you have something very specific in mind, like a security position, for example, and you see it's only in Tallinn, but you want to be in Tartu, then maybe it's worth to ask.
All right, like for my case, I'm living in Tallinn, but I'm interested in the positions in Tartu, so that's why I was asking.
It can be in agreement also with manager and mentor in some cases, that maybe you start in Tartu, you're 2 weeks there, but then you will work from home office or from Tallinn office. So there could be an agreement if you are a really good candidate and you have the motivation to take that role.
All right, thank you so much.
Hello.
Hi.
I have a question regarding that office issue. I already applied for technical support intern, and there was an option to choose, like, if I want to relocate to Tartu or not. I have no problem to relocate in Tartu, but like, will it affect my application? Like, HR might think that, okay, someone is already in Tartu, we can hire him or her. Like, will it affect?
Did I understand correctly that in the ad it said that it could be either Tartu or Tallinn?
No, it's in Tartu.
Because when you're talking about support position, and that's the team that's only in Tartu, so they don't have anyone in Tallinn. So probably they are one of those teams who will say that this position is only in Tartu and you can't work from Tallinn in that position?
No. My question is that, like, will it affect my application? I want to relocate in Tartu. I don't have any problem to relocate.
Okay, you don't have a problem.
Yeah, but like, will it affect my application that they might think, okay, someone is applying from Tartu, let's consider them fast because it will not be hard for them to relocate?
Well, the relocation will be covered by you, and if we see from the application and the CV that you say somewhere there that you're open to moving to Tartu, then there's no problem. As long as it's somewhere that like explained that we just don't see that position in Tartu, but your address in Tallinn, and then we might be confused, like how will this work? But if you wrote there that you're able to move to Tartu, then it's all good.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
And if you didn't, then email us.
Okay. And one more question. Actually, I applied and I didn't get any feedback that I applied, because if I applied, I applied in other jobs and I got feedback that, okay, you applied for this position, but I didn't get any feedback. Like, is it normal or?
I think it's normal. I applied to Playtech 5 years ago and I can't remember how it was then, but I think it's normal, and we will just let you know about your status and the next steps, whether you will be given this homework opportunity or this assignment opportunity or not.
Thanks a lot.
Some more questions? If there aren't any more questions, then thank you for participating. As I said, follow us in Facebook and Instagram, then you will be reminded with all the information, important deadlines and information. And check the webpage, because there you will see the full list of positions. And there you have also the email address where to write if you have any kind of questions that will raise after this presentation. So good luck.